Good morning and welcome to the Nosrocker Morning Review. I am Nosrocker. It is still the morning for 28 more minutes, and we're kind of going to review, but it's not 100% a review because we didn't really play a lot of games in the last 24 hours. I had to do a shitload of work, so I missed out on evening games, missed out on morning games, and today I went swimming. Not that that's part of StarCraft, but that's what I did. I went swimming. It was nice. It was really hard. I'm still tired. I'm going to be tired forever, actually, because at the beginning of the day. But I have a lot of energy now. I was thinking I might skip the review today because, there's nothing to review. Then I went swimming, and I just started to feel like $1,000,000, so I thought, hey, let's talk about it. Because the point of this show is to chronicle the journey to Grandmaster. And that journey is not always playing games. Sometimes that game is, that journey is being stuck at work and then going swimming and having no StarCraft to talk about. But that does lead into where I'm at right now, which is, so from the previous reviews, you may, if you have been following them, may know that having hit this milestone has been like a big momentum killer. Well, it's a lot of things combined. It was the milestone, it's the season, it's work ramping up, and it's also like, I am not known for finishing tasks or projects or long-term commitment. And generally speaking, my commitment to an idea lasts probably like 2 to 4 weeks. And I think I've been playing StarCraft now for like 2 months. I've been doing these reviews for like 4 weeks. So we're in a very big danger zone of me just like starting to be like, you know what? I can just not. And I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't think I want it to happen. I think I want this to be something that I follow through on because it's pretty cool and it's pretty fun. But there is going to be that little battle, I think, where I have to do a thing even though I don't feel like doing it, which is but we're not there yet. We're not there yet. I think right now the problem is just sort of the switch to the cheese thing was due to macro just being really fucking complicated. I don't even think it was that. I mean, there was mechanical issues for sure, but I think I feel that the issue is just my decision making, my knowledge, my ability to use information is all not great, and that's gonna take a long time to build up. So we did the cheese thing, which was cool. It was some quick progress, and we learned a lot from it. But now we're back to like, we're not just going to cheese all the way, right? We're going to actually try to learn to play the game. And where do you even begin? The Bronze GM thing was really good for beginning. It got me started because it made the game manageable. But now the Bronze GM guide in Diamond, it's kind of like Vibe going into games and just trying new things and explaining how he's reacting and stuff. Like it's still obviously very instructive, but it's very, very clear that this guy just has an incredible amount of knowledge that he's drawing on. So I guess it's just a matter of like getting games in and all that. I think okay, so the problem that I face now is that there's nothing really to latch onto as a sort of like as like a guiding sort of light towards progress. Or I haven't figured one out. I haven't chosen one. So a few options that I've been thinking, there is just play games. You'll lose a little bit of MMR because you don't have a solid plan, but you'll just get experience in. Another idea that I had was to keep more tabs on how games go, like watching replays more, like studying replays after games. And keeping like maybe a spreadsheet, like Printf has that crazy Cannon Rush spreadsheet he's been keeping for years. It's a very good idea. Keep a spreadsheet that just sort of says like what the matchups were, maybe like how long the games were, why I think it went the way it did, like what the builds were. Maybe in that regard, actually, like keeping track of looking at what people were trying to build and then writing down like, okay, a lot of people are trying this build, so when does it time out and stuff. Another option that I'd considered is just playing all of the races and just picking like some simple builds. I think actually, in terms of gameplay, I'm moving off of the spreadsheet thing for a minute, but in terms of gameplay, I do think a very specific and important plan is to like have that plan and nail it. And I think like the cheese idea was fun, but probably I want like a build. See, now I'm stuck again a little bit because there is no build that just always works, right? And if you start with an opener that goes longer into the game, then the variables come in and then it becomes difficult again. I'll hold on for like 15 minutes, but maybe the game's lost to like 8 minutes because I started making some bad decisions. So a little bit lost again. And this, now just hearing myself talk about it, is kind of reminiscent of right before the cheese thing, where I was just like, I'm just losing, I don't know what to do, there's so many things going on. Probably a huge amount of this is just experience. Maybe the all-in is the way to go, but it's tough because like a cheesy all-in is gonna make the game end quickly, whereas a normal all-in might do damage but not make the game end quickly. And it seems like when the games go long is when the problems arise. I also had the other idea of just playing other races, right? Other races would be good, but I think the same problem sort of arises, is like, what is the strategy to get better? I think it worked well with Vibe up until like gold plat, because he was still like in suggesting this one way of playing, and then you get good at that one way of playing, but it definitely falls off. And I guess another option is like just getting a few different ways of playing, like 3 builds that are maybe all any at like 7 or 8 minutes, instead of just trying to apply the one build, because that was actually a huge problem. Like the Hydra thing against Protoss was just not doing it, like maybe in some situations, but if I switched into something like that, that's like an economic sort of push to 200 supply as fast as possible, but like for Protoss maybe it's like Roche Ravager, might be good. Yeah. So anyway, I don't need to go through all of my thought process necessarily, but the point is that I'm a little bit unsure about the next sort of steps. The things that I know for sure about this, I feel like I'm saying sure weird. Sure? For sure? For sure. For sure. The things that I know is that I need to play a lot of games, and I need to use builds that are good. I need to get builds from good people, copy them, and play a lot of games. This is literally exactly what Browntown told me the very beginning. And I was like, yeah, but I'm gonna try this. Yeah, but I'm gonna try this. I wanna do this thing. But it does come down to that, right? Because the two things is like, one, experience, obviously, in anything that's massive and irreplaceable, and then 2 is just good decisions, which you can't make without experience, so you take somebody else's. All right, to summarize all of this, I'm not totally sure what to do, but I think playing other races is going to get me very good experience because it's new. Finding more all-any builds, but maybe not as aggressively cheesy, although there's really, the opener gets so tight when you just knock out like 5 to 8 minute games. And like, sure, it's shitty and you feel like a jerk, but like you're getting those first few minutes down. And if you get that down with like a few different builds, then you just have to extrapolate it out. And you've got a really good head start, right? Because you've nailed everything. So maybe the cheese is like kind of not the worst way to go, because you are training up the macro and things. All right. Let's make a plan. Let's just make a plan. Let's just pick a plan and we'll try it and we'll see how it works. In terms of learning about the game, I think that the replay watching and the spreadsheet are both very good ideas. And I think I will implement that. So when I finish a game, I will rewind it. I will take note of what build they were going for, what build I was going for, where things went wrong, what the little hiccups were. This will also help me realize, like, if I say like, oh, I got fucked by a Banshee, and I see in my like spreadsheet that happened a lot, then that's something I maybe also find a weakness in that. There's the risk of going overboard on data all the time, but we'll see. We'll try that. So we'll do that for learning, watching the replays, just getting all the information, really seeing what the other person had going on. I think that's probably what's very important, like seeing how they matched up to me and where, at what point I could have done something and at what point I should have done something different and what tells there might have been for that. I think I will switch for a little bit to adding in some Protoss and just get some like very aggressive builds. Also just do a hard like cheesy all-in opener. And maybe just do Terran as well. I wonder if it would be a good idea or a bad... So my fear with the switching race thing is that it's mechanically challenging to switch around, right? And I don't want to fall off on Zerg. So do I do like one other race and just sprinkle in some Zerg games? Or do we do all 3 races? Just do some fucking like random and stuff? Not random. Random's probably bad. You want to keep your head in one place. Probably one race at a time, but just keep doing some Zerg games. Maybe like start doing like 50-50 Zerg and Protoss. And then add in Terran. Or maybe just do all of them. I think I'm overthinking this, man. All right. One race, one all-in per matchup. Watch the replays. That's it. That's the plan. I'm just gonna do Protoss. We're gonna see how we feel about it, and then we'll do Terran if we want to. And we'll do Zerg if we want to. We'll just do whatever we want. The key here is playing games, watching replays, learning. Okay. So after all that, I think the answer is freak out a little bit less, watch more replays, play more races, play lots of games. Okay, cool. It's been a bit of a long, rambling one. But hey, if you stuck it out to the end, you need something better to do with your morning. Just kidding. Thanks for being here. Have a super day, a nice weekend, and all that jazz. And we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.